background. I'm gonna be straightforward with y'all. So many people think this is why shelters fail. This is why small businesses fail. They think, okay, hey, I'm gonna open a Mexican food restaurant in this neighborhood because I want to open a Mexican food restaurant, and then when nobody comes, they think I'm gonna advertise. Well, nobody comes. What do? Oh, you advertise more. And then what happens when nobody? You're still failing. Oh, you advertise more. Well, guess what? It's not going to work. Nobody wanted a damn Mexican food restaurant in the first place over there. They wanted an Italian restaurant, something else. So go talk to people. Say they want it. If you want to open a restaurant, figure out what they want. Oh, do they want an Italian food restaurant? Do they want a Mexican food restaurant? Oh, they do want a Mexican food restaurant. We're going to open a Mexican food restaurant. They want this. And then when people complain that your food sucks, don't kick them out of your restaurant. Change the food to what people like, not what you like. So the education side of it's hard in San Antonio. Getting into schools, getting these other things like that. How are we going to do that? What do people want? My thing is, if we're going to do this, and I would like the community outreach programs, there's things with the properties, with the tech communities, other things. There's a whole. We need to go in. We need to get these communities, these neighborhoods, these areas where this is not happening. We need to get those people coming to us and talking to. We need to talk to them and figure out what are they going to listen to. Because honestly, we can go advertise spay and neuter more. Bob Barker's been saying it for 30 years. Is anybody still spaying and neutering their dogs? It's not going to work. Advertise all you want. Go talk in the schools all you want. It's not going to work that way. And I don't mean that in a harsh way. I just mean it in a way we've got to, if we want to actually, I do want to use part of this money to get into those communities, and that's going to be actually getting people from those areas, from those neighborhoods to come and talk to us and hear what they will listen to, what they understand. And that's the only way education is going to work. And so do I understand how the best way to do that yet, or what we're going to do on that? I don't know, honestly. There's still a lot to do with that. And so, but it's something I do want to use money for. I do want to start looking at because it's important. And there's many great organizations in this community going to no kill. That will help. Beside,
I mean, I'm not in agreement with using the money you're working on right now to work on the education part of it. I'm just in the future down the road when you get to where you want to be. This is something we could look at as far as like offering something easier to get these people to spay and neuter the problem, because we're chasing the train. Everything that's down at ACS that we're saving is because some idiot didn't spay and neutered their dogs. It's not ACS's fault. It's not our fault. It's the mentality of San Antonio. And I don't think Dr. Jefferson had a clue when she came to San Antonio how bad it actually is in this city. And SAPA's done amazing. I mean, I've been here for like ever since I was 16, and I'm not young. And this city used to put down 23 to 25,000 a year. Every year they did that. Up until 2008, then they started implementing the feral cat program, the TNR, which took the numbers down. SAPA came in and took the numbers down, and all these other rescue organizations. And we've dropped it down I think it was a little over 7,000 that was put down last year. That's not good, but it's not near what it used to be. And cats, we're no kill. Cats and kittens, we are no kill. And feral cats, we're never going to get that under control. That's just a given. So I'm not saying using this money for that. It's a future thing.
well, and those are things that's part of. So you got to realize, I look at things. There's multiple ways you can impact something. With one thing, any projects we do, it's not just what's all the ripple effects from the project. And people, I think, when I think of projects, when I look at things, you'll see one thing. I'm usually seeing a very big picture. People are seeing this little piece, and I'm very big on what's going to be all the ripple effects of those projects. And so how can you be most effective when you implement things? So there's things we can implement. We could think about, and hey, well, what if we just add this? It doesn't cost a little bit extra. And look, now we just had a huge impact on education. And there's other things we can do to incorporate. So
one of the things that used to happen several years ago that I was involved with, and again, it's in the King William district, which we all know is a much higher income district, but they had twice a year, they had community events where everybody would come in and they did all sorts of things, and they always invited me to come down there with my dogs, microchip, and they would pay me to do the microchipping and also to educate, spay, neuter, talk. And I think what we need to do is find out, both through the Chamber of Commerce and, for people that live here in San Antonio, what is your local community? Because I know you've got like Leon Valley, you've got, San Antonio's kind of different. It's got these little clusters. And see if we can start getting some, and it doesn't have to be a SAPA project. It could be George Baloney's project. But just get these small, your local neighborhood community and find out. I live in Seguin. Okay, a lot of our neighborhoods in Seguin have their 4th of July block parties. Yeah. Will I go over there and microchip dogs and talk to people? Yeah, if you give me a rib, I'll come over and do it. It's real simple.
That's actually a great point. That's something where once we get these things in place, we actually have the volunteer systems actually coordinated and structured and running smoothly. Things like that it's all the amazing things we could do. Honestly, chipping dogs or doing things like that, or even getting spay and neuter initiative. I talked about getting animals in 4th of July parties, a bunch of animals running around. Heck, that person could be transporting animals at that. So there's all kinds of amazing things we can do if we get those back in place. Sorry.
Hi, I have a quick question. I have a background in accounting, so one of my main concerns is financial transparency. And I know you said that one of the things you did when you first started was go through the books and pull them apart, have them audited. So my question is, going forward, is there going to be yearly audits? Is there going to be, what kind of accounting and what kind of background? Because I know not-for-profit accounting is difficult. So what kind of financial transparency and stability can we have going forward?
So I'm very good at running organizations very lean and taking failing organizations and turning them around and restructuring them. I'm bad with money. I'm good at not spending money. I'm good at building great teams and do a lot of amazing things. But my thing is I like having a damn good accountant. And so that's one of the things we will be auditing every year. And we're looking at auditing right now all the way back. I'm looking at considering auditing everything from the start of SAPA. But even with my checks, I've set it up to where even as the CEO of the organization, I don't have the ability. Any checks over a couple $1,000s, I have 2 signatures on, including board members. And just more, not so much that, just it gives transparency. And I want my team members, I don't want to feel like if somebody wants to question finances, go for it. Because I don't want anybody ever be in a position where they have to feel like there could be anything to question. And so I purposely set the organization up that way day one when I came in. So both. Yeah, we have an external separate auditing company has nothing to do with SAPA. It's completely unbiased because I needed that for me. So this is something I'm putting my life into this. So I want to make sure the organization does right. So, sorry.
Hi, my name's Maria. I've been volunteering for transport since last year, and it's been touched upon by a few different people. But I was just going to say, everybody has really great ideas and a lot of varied interests, but we should probably strive to be efficient and identify, because there are so many other organizations trying to do the same thing, is figure out, maybe we can work more together, and maybe that's happening already. But maybe with the volunteer coordinator or the new structure. For example, I volunteer with SNPSA on a quarterly basis for the Big Fix. That's one day where they need a huge amount of people. We could rally the SAPA people to help for that one day, and that would make a big impact on them. And then in turn, when we need help, we could be asking the other organizations for something. So maybe more cohesiveness and just identifying what needs are there and work together. That's all.
Thank you. It's a great point, and SAPA is just one of the many organizations that are contributing to No Kill here in San Antonio, and so it is important we work together because we all have different interests as far as what animals we take, how we do things, and what our specialties are. And so I do agree. And the SNPSA thing, that's one of the things that was brought up. And that's one thing I would like to, on those days, volunteer our van, volunteer one of our team members, what we need to do to help contribute to that. But there's also things I'm looking at funding-wise, where I can do special things with funding that other organizations cannot. And so maybe we're another organization where we could seek funding elsewhere and allow that other organization to take that funding. That's something I'm also looking at. How can I open up funding opportunities for the other organizations in this? And that's something that's really important. Because I think the companies that have done the best that I've worked with have worked closely with their competitors. So you're competitors at the end of the day, but it's important that you understand each other. You feed each other. And so I think that's something with these that we compete in some ways, but in a lot of ways we're all under one mission. So it's very important.
Very quick question. Are we going to get listed the paid employees and who they are and everybody get, I know people are moving and I know you're doing some changing and stuff. We all need to know who's in charge of what.
Yes, there is an org chart now, a good one that I'm still auditing. I'm not giving out yet because.
Tell us on the website anything so we know who to contact. So I'm not just
Yeah.
contacting you.
There will be, and the board of directors and other people will be listed, and maybe not everybody's phone numbers because emails alone I'm getting a couple 150, but yeah. But it's will probably be another 2 weeks because I'm still shaking the hell out of the tree, excuse my French, but we're going to see what happens in a couple more weeks. Yes, then we'll take some more.
Two quick points I want to mention. On the very first year that we had Bark in the Park, I was the person who actually ran the whole event for SAPA, and I learned a very important, valuable lesson. We had about 40 people come from Southwest Research Institute, and they all stood in front of me, and we all kind of looked around, didn't know what exactly to do. It dawned on me at that point to ask people what they wanted to do. I said, whoever wants to work with the animals, step on this side. Whoever wanted to work with people, step on this side. It put them in their comfort zone so that they were more successful and more proudful of their work. And I think instead of being voluntold, they volunteered. The second thing I think is very, very important, the PASS program. The PASS program was so successful on site at ACS because it intervened and it really gave the resources to the community where it stopped from the dogs from coming into the shelter. It was able to give the community resources for if it was training or if it was, medical, or they just couldn't keep their dog, but they could actually rehome it through the PASS program, then coming on site to ACS or to any other establishment. But years ago, the PASS program was taken off site, and now it's like some email that this poor woman, I can't remember who she is, that volunteers to handle it. That is very crucial, I think, having a PASS program back on site.
So, yeah, 2 good points. And so any programs we do, intelligence is important. It's killing me with these emails. No, I'm sure everybody here doesn't read our emails anymore because with volunteers, we send every volunteer every email about everything they need, not just what they want to do. And so I agree with you on that. That's just with volunteers fosters everything. As far as the PASS program, honestly, I haven't had a chance to look at that. So there's things like that we're going to talk about today. In a couple of weeks, if y'all don't see things or you see things, I'm dropping the ball on something, tell me. Be like, hey, Drew, remember 2 weeks ago you talked to the town hall, you're going to do this. I'm not seeing it. Remind me, because there are things in there I will forget. And it will put there. I'm going to go back through this and put notes and put them in a project plan. And I might see my back like, hey, you're right on the PASS program, but honestly, right now I got to fix these other things, so it's going to be still a couple more weeks out. But on the PASS program, when I go to fix the PASS program, I'll talk to my team and we'll put it out to the community and let y'all help us direct on that. How's that sound? Because that's something we're going to need a lot of volunteers. We need the people, and I agree, it doesn't need to be just virtual, but on answering any specifics about it, I'm going to be worthless to you on that right now, so bear with me on that. We're going to do some internet ones, I guess, because, sorry.
Okay, question coming online from Loving SAPA. Wants to know what makes SAPA unique and special about the organization. And how will you maintain it?
So what makes it unique and special is the community. It's the amazing thing. SAPA is not just a team of it's not an animal shelter. It's a community of volunteers, fosters, and people that give back. And so I think that's something that makes us unique, and it's something that we can move so many animals because of this. So, and then the other thing that makes us so unique is the fact that we have the ability to do so many other things to give back in so many other ways. And that's what we see all the animals, and I want to get away from the numbers with SAPA. For me, it's critical we talk about the stories, the amazing things that we give back, all these life-changing things. I love the Chance video. Even Dell did a commercial with us, talking about the technology that we use and all the different amazing things we can give back to tech entrepreneurs. We can give back to the community. We can give back in so many different ways. I think that's what's so amazing about this organization. And how do I plan to make that sustainable? Is you're smart. You run lean. You run intelligent. You don't just burn money. It's just a bad idea. I expect my team to be. This building alone, we cut our electric bill $1,000 in less than a week and a half by turning off lights. So, and so you'll see that some of the lights are cutting off from this, and I've kept them on longer now, but I went and reprogrammed the timers. How do I keep it afloat? We just be smart. We quit being stupid, and we're aware. We have to be aware. And the people that aren't on my team, they're just being lazy and not being aware. I don't want them on my team. They might be a great person, but they go somewhere else where they can afford to be lazy. We can't afford to be lazy here. So that's.
I think that was the only one you haven't addressed so far.
Okay. Any other ones? No more internet ones that we haven't addressed, I guess.
I had a question.
Oh,
I wanted to know what you said that your volunteers or the workers here actually walk through ACS and pull animals. What decides what you pull and what you don't pull? How do you guys make that decision?
that's a good question. And that one right now is part of where we need the behavior teams back. We have Claire, who has a dang hard job. They have a lot of animals they have to go through. The city has mass amount of animals, so they have to quickly go through. They have a ton of kennels to walk. They have about 30 seconds each kennel. And they've got to quickly assess, without getting in there, without spending time with the animal, what's going on, and make a decision, is this adoptable or not? And we plea them, so it's a big piece of it. But the ones we pull is gut. And there's a lot of things. We have teams in there. Can it be adopted? Will it sit in our system for years right now? Will it not? What's going on? Is it have major medical right now? I have to streamline the organization, and a lot of people are going to hate that side of it with me. And I'm sorry for those that you do, but I can't pull dogs that are going to cost us $5,000 or $10,000 right now, because the problem is I don't have a place to keep them. I can't. It's going to be cruel to an animal. It's going to be that. And then the fact is I can't send them to a foster that can't afford to take them, that dumps them back onto us. So I'm having to be careful right now until we get our vets in place. That's where this money is so critical, is getting that back to where we can't take these animals. We can't put them in a specific facility. We can't do other things like that, where we can keep the highly adoptable over here, the ones that need the medical treatment over here, and get them through. But right now, major medical, I cannot take. And I can't take until we get vets, until we get the sustainable, all the medical stuff in place. And even once I get that going, I want to get all our fosters. They've given so much that need help. I want to get our fosters fixed, and they get that. So in the next couple of weeks, it's the only thing that we can't take right now is major medical. We're still playing them. We're still doing other things like that, but we just have to be careful. And because I can't risk 300 animals dying because we picked one that sits. And it's a tough call, and I feel bad for them. I've gone through and done the walk with them. I've gone through and seen that, and I'd love to have volunteers, if we can work it out and work them, especially the behavioralist, sitting down and going through and work with. So they're trying to make quick assessments. It'd be nice to have those teams back to be able to go through and do the rounds with them, so they can help make good judgments. We can say this dog with a little bit of work would be great. This dog would be a great service dog, because we're going to make bad calls. It's going to happen right now. So there's things that. We're working on that, we're trying, but it's literally just running the rounds as quick as we can. Going through the list, figuring out what's happening, trying to plea them. The software is going to automatically plea them soon, which will make it much easier. We can plea more animals faster, it'll be more accurate, there won't be confusion. And is this animal still in the system? Is it not in the system? Has it been held? What's going on? That's still really broken right now, and we've got to fix that. But the ones they pick is gut. I have some things I've set right now. The ones that we're pulling that we can immediately put in kennels, we got to be highly adoptable that can we move them. So we keep moving as many animals as possible. And then the ones that we're pulling, we've got to make sure they're going to people that can actually take care of them, so they don't get dumped back on, and we don't end up in a situation where I don't want to release any animals. So luckily we've had people working with us to help us, but it's tough right now. It is really tough, and we've still got lots of volume to move. So, but if you want anybody that wants to come in, coordinate with us, and wants to come in and do the walk, if we'll talk to ACS, maybe ACS will, if ACS will allow us to, and we can do that. Maybe we can have Bethany is okay. Could put you on this, sorry, she's probably going to kill me. Is that something that would even be possible if we had some volunteers that wanted to come through and do the walk on the pools, or is not? I don't know if insurance or other things will allow that.
I think the concern is we do a walkthrough at the same time that we do the cleaning.
Okay.
There's a concern about safety issues.
Yeah.
Wet floors. There's something that we can talk more about that, but that's the only concern that comes to my mind right now.
Okay. So there's some things we can look at and seeing how we could coordinate that and work. But people that want to get an idea, and it'd be good to see what ACS to deal with. I know ACS gets a bad rap, but ACS has so much they have to deal with and so much they have to work with, and they have a tough job. I think if there's opportunities where we can at least, or maybe on our end, where you can see some of how we're doing things with us, and you want to come follow along, I'm all open to that. So there's the only thing we've had in the past that I will. This is one thing I will ban people for, is if they take pictures of our screens or take pictures of like Pet Point and post somebody's personal information, I personally will come up to you and talk to you. You post somebody's personal information on the internet, you're not going to be dealing with my staff, you're not going to be dealing with anybody else, you're going to be dealing with me. Do not do that. I'm going to protect your information. I expect everybody else to protect everybody else's information. That's something that it's not good. And if there's decisions, I've said if there's hard decisions, I've told our team on dogs that I tell them you can't pull that, so there's not confusion if it's an employee or not. I've told them to put per Drew, do not pull this dog. So if y'all don't like one of my decisions, please let me know, and I'll talk to you. And it may have been a bad decision. It might be something where once I explain it, you'll be able to understand why we didn't pull those. But next, sorry.
Is the USA Defender GoFundMe, is that on your website, or is that pulled in separately?
Is Karen still here? It will be shortly. I will text her. So, and Claire's here. Hey. So, it will be. We'll put it up there. So, sorry. Anyways.
Hi, I'm a volunteer at 151. I know you've mentioned earlier tonight that you can't save every dog and that sometimes the dogs need to be released back to ACS, which basically means they're being killed. And I have a huge problem with that. Especially because these dogs aren't pleaded for before that. No one knows about it. You have all these volunteers that all they want to do is help. If I knew that there was dogs that just needed more time, more patience, I would make sure every single time I'm there that I would walk that dog. I would spend time with that dog. I would do whatever I could. Even if I don't have time to be on a behavior team, I can ask a behavior team if it's in place, what can I do with this dog? Give me some skills, some quick tips that I can do every single time that I have the hour or two a week that I'm able to give. There have been 3 dogs that I, as a volunteer, have walked. They're good dogs. They were not behavior dogs. I have 0 animal training. I don't have a problem with those dogs. And they were released and they were killed. Excuse me? It may have been before you. My issue is, you've said tonight, we need transparency. And that's a big thing that you're proposing. But I think, and I know you said you can't promise that that won't happen again, but my point is, please use all of your resources, use all of these great people here. We all want to help. If we know of these problems, I'll do anything. I think anyone here would too. And that's why I think, hugely we need a behavior team back. That's the most important thing. These dogs, they need to be trained, they need to get out, they need to learn. They can't just stay in the kennels all day. And they don't have that right now. So I'm wondering what your specific plan is for that, to get the behavior team back and to make sure that that doesn't happen again behind closed doors, because I have a huge problem supporting a program that does that.
And to my knowledge, and actually I'm 100% sure, I almost did release one. I did. That was my big mistake. When I first came in, because there was a dog sitting there, Oshi. Oshi's an amazing dog. And I actually, Claire can tell you, I went and sat and spent time with Oshi before I made the decision. Any dog I'm going to release, I will personally spend time with. That was something I will make a commitment to. If there's something that comes back in that we're going to have to release it, but if we fix the system, we get back in place, we shouldn't be in that position, except in a rare circumstance. If it is, that's something I do need to agree to, is to give y'all some time. That's something if you see something like that happening, reach out. There's been things that have been happening, and I think so many people I've literally been sitting up till 4 a.m. a lot of times trying to respond, trying to fix things, trying to see what's going on, and I get with my team immediately if I see things. I send them the message. I send them, hey, what's going on here? What am I missing? What am I seeing? So that is something I will try to work with. I do think something we need to make a commitment to. And so how much time, what the deal is, what's going on, I don't know yet, but that's something we can work with, because we can figure out something. But I think before releasing dogs, say, hey, these dogs were in a bad position. We have to release them. And honestly, with the behavior teams being rebuilt, with other things, we have the ability to push animals and transport animals and do other things like that. We shouldn't be in that case, except for if there's an attack or something like that, or it attacked a child or something crazy. We shouldn't be in that case. So hopefully, but yes, I will commit to that. That if I have to re-release a dog, I need to personally go see it. And then I need to make sure we pitch it back to the community before we release it, so that y'all know what's going on. So that's a very valid thing.
Drew, I've been volunteering here for a long time, and sometimes up to 6-8 hours a day. But lately, and I know it was prior to you, I was really nauseated that every one of these play areas was empty all day long, all morning, all afternoon, all evening. And that was one of my duties at one time, was I would make sure every one of those play areas was constantly full. As a matter of fact, there were times we couldn't turn them out because it was hot, and I personally purchased and myself in a little ladder installed all those little covers up there so that we could turn out the dogs in the summertime. And now I see they're not being used. It's just painful when these animals are going crazy in their cages, and you could put at least 2 in a run. I'm hoping that you'll make that a priority to get these animals out there.
Yeah, we have been bad about that, and honestly, I saw that today. I haven't even been conscious to it, but you're right. I saw that today, and because I took my kids, like Maya, which is one of the dogs I love. She doesn't do well with cats, and I've got a bunch of cats, so that's the tough side of it. But I took her out there with my kids last Saturday, and we spent quite a bit of time with her, and she did amazing. That dog changed. Her personality changed immediately, and when she was out in that run. And so, yeah, we need to be better at that. And if y'all help us with that, I'll make the commitment. I know our team's got a lot of stuff on their plate. So I've been trying to be here at 8 a.m. and before I go to other facilities or go over to our office. And I'll try to be early, or days like today where I'm here all day. I'll make sure that I personally go through. I'll start to make a conscious note to make sure I go and double turn around all those walk signs, because that is important. And so.
Establishment actually would not permit me, as a longtime volunteer, to put dogs out there. They would say, well, that's not necessary, or it's their time when he was running this office before you came here.
Is there any reason why that should be? We don't. So she said before, the prior management said the volunteers couldn't put the animals in the walking or the dog.
If they said
Yeah, for God's sake, if somebody says that, just put them in the damn kennel. And so that's fine. Yeah. No, okay, Bella's gone. So. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Coordinate with the facility, the people that are working the facility, just so they know what's going on. Bear with them because they might have a reason we're doing something. So just let them know. But if they're not letting you do that, we have great people now. I think the people that were causing problems have been weeded out. So I don't think you'll see things like that. If you do, let me know. So I appreciate it. But yeah, there should be no reason. I'm like, it doesn't make sense. But sorry.
So you said that you've been kind of weeding out all the bad people. I guess that means that you're kind of short-staffed. Is there somewhere we can go where you say, okay, I want employees for this, I want volunteers for this, we need the behavior team, how many people? So that way people can know, okay, look, I want to do behavior, but look, it's already full. They have 50, volunteers. Oh, but look, they need somebody to walk dogs. They have nobody. Let me go ahead and do that because I can do both. Do you have something that people can go up to and see where the help is needed?
Where's Tommy? Yes, Tommy will get on that immediately. We just on the volunteer coordination. We are going to put that together, and we will put. I want to have on the site where we have volunteers. So we need something where people can see where we need volunteers and what we need volunteers for, and what we need team members for, where we're hiring, where we're not hiring. And right now, honestly, hiring, and I know this sucks for the people that are in the facilities every day because they are busting their butts. I watch them. But I need to bring some intelligence and fix some processes so they're not having to work so hard. We can do a lot with less if we're smart about it, and we weren't being smart about it. And so that's something that's not the team member's fault. That was something that was the leadership's fault. So I'm fostering that, and that's where you're going to see a little bit. They might still be pushed and working hard, and so bear with them because before I can get down that, I got to make sure there's process in place. So, but yeah, that's something we do need to get with the fosters. That's going to be fosters and volunteers. I guess more volunteers, but we do need to have what's going to do. But that volunteer coordinator is not going to allow that team member to post for what they need volunteers for unless they have an explicit list of what duties they're going to be doing, what they need to do, because that way, in case that person's not there, no problem. Whoever's there can hand them a sheet. Hey, we need to do this. We need to do that. It's really simple to pass off. Hey, well, we'll adjourn then. If y'all have anything else you want to talk to me, I'll be around. So, thank you. But and I guess one other thing I was going to tell you on the fosters team or on the behavior team, I do have a meeting Friday, I think, or Saturday. I have one Friday, and then I have another one with another behavior team, trying to get those back in place. We do need those. So, and this, if I have to, this funding's going to go to hiring some people if I need to on that end. So, thank you.
It's crazy.